one of the things that I get asked, or get asked a lot about is like, or told a lot is like basically someone saying, I feel like I'm not making progress. I feel like I'm doing all this, but I'm not making progress. And actually, I feel like unless someone got some incredibly big results, this is actually very common. Like this actually happens when someone's getting good results, but they seem to be slow. Or when someone is getting results, but they also seem to be getting like results that they don't want. Um, and so it's kind of like, it's like really a lot of like, it's like really across the board. But if you start, let's say for instance, if you get a website launched, and then, but you didn't get the kind of response you're hoping for. So that's like it's like a win. Like you didn't have a website before, now you have one. So that's a win. But instead of actually looking at that, we look at the fact that we didn't get the response we were hoping for. And it's kind of interesting. So oftentimes, when we do something, we also have unanticipated things that happen. But it's very common that we interpret that as actually having failed at our goal, or having gone back, or regressing, or things getting worse. And I think that's a very interesting phenomenon that actually happens very often when we're trying to make changes in our lives. And the simple answer to as to why that happens is because we have wrong reference points. And so what I mean by that is that we oftentimes actually forget what the goal was, and we look at the byproducts of what we're hoping to get when we're having the goal. So a good example is when you launch the website, you basically say, you're trying to launch the website, but then once you launch the website, it's interesting, you look beyond what you're hoping the website would accomplish for you. But that's actually a separate subject. That's actually really not the goal. The goal was basically that you wanted to launch a website, and launching the website is the goal. That's a concrete thing. Now, once you launch the website, the question comes as to what you would like to do. What do you like to achieve with that? And that question comes after. And that question should be asked, but really, until the website is launched, some of the things you can anticipate because you need to get feedback. So even if you try to account for what it is you want to happen with the website, there's the real feedback that you need from the people that you're trying to reach, or whatever it is you're trying to do. And so oftentimes the reason people get discouraged is because the reference points, meaning as in the points that you should reference for your gauge of success, was unrealistic. And so I think one of the key things that whenever you're feeling down about your progress, you should look at is, what are you referencing as your gauge of success? And is it fair? Like, what was your real goal? And did you have any clear expectations, or did your expectations expand as from your original expectation? Like say for instance, okay, I guess I was launching this website because I wish that I would get a lot of clients. But I'm realizing that really, specifically speaking, my goal was to just launch the website. And now that I have the website, I'm realizing that I have to actually work on getting more clients. And like being able to actually kind of see that there was no failure. You just took another step towards your ultimate goal. And understanding that you make progress, and also understanding that you're hoping that it would yield more results, but then also looking at why you thought that it would yield more results. And so having proper reference points. Are you really being fair to yourself? Oftentimes we're not, because we want to be successful sooner than later. And somehow by creating unrealistic expectations, we feel like we're setting ourselves up for success. But really, all that really does is makes us rush. And so by being able to just take a step back and looking at what our expectations were and seeing whether the gauge that we're using for success and progress, whether that's actually in reality or not, really helps. And so hopefully that will be helpful. Oh, one more thing I did want to mention here is if you gauge for success becomes realistic and accurate and you start feeling good, your sense of progress really starts heightening and gets better because the way you set up your goals is a lot more accurate and the way you create your plan is a lot more accurate. So you move along a lot faster and your strategy becomes a lot more effective. So as long as you're unrealistic, you keep creating unrealistic strategies, and so you keep derailing yourself, or you derail yourself after you do something very effective. So you slow your progress down. But if your gauge of success becomes realistic, your planning becomes effective, and your goal setting becomes effective, and your sense of progress starts becoming better. So you start feeling better about yourself. And because you feel better, you have more energy. And because you have more energy, you do more. And because you start hitting your goals more regularly, you become more confident. And because you become more confident, you do more. And because you have a better sense of reality as to what's going to work, you do more of what works. And because you do more of what works, things start working better, faster, and more often. And because of that, you start having better strategies, overall, how you set overall directions and where the leverage point is. And so, because of that, you start getting there even faster, and so on and so forth. And your whole life starts working better as a whole. By just asking yourself the simple question, what was my gauge for success? And was it fair? Was it realistic? What was my gauge for success? What am I referencing? Am I even referencing something that's real? Hopefully, you'll find that helpful and help you achieve all the things that you want in life.